In this tutorial, we'll help you get started with our print invoice, packing slip, delivery note, and label plugin for WooCommerce. Once you have installed the plugin, you can see an additional option in the WordPress menu called Invoice Pack List, which has two sections: Print Options and Customize. The Print Options part helps you configure all the settings of the plugin and print the shipping documents. The Customize section helps you personalize the templates for invoices, packing slips, and delivery notes. To get started, click Print Options and head to General Settings. Remember, these settings are applied to all shipping documents. First up, you have Generic Settings, where you can set your company name, custom logo, your store's return policy, any specific conditions that you want to display on the documents, and even custom footer for all your shipping documents. Moving on to Ship From Address. Enter sender name and respective sender address. Next, click Additional Options to review more settings. The first one is the Preview Before Printing option. It provides an option to preview shipping documents before they are printed. You can enable or disable this option according to your needs. Next up is the Data Matrix information. This data matrix information is basically barcode information, which can be printed on the invoice and shipping labels. Barcode equivalent data for invoice number is printed on the invoice, and the data for shipment tracking number on the shipping label. If you wish to include product variation information, enable the option to include variation data in invoice, packing slip, and delivery note. Similarly, you can check the Add SKU option to include product SKU information in invoice, packing slip, and delivery note. Moving on to the settings for packaging type. Our plugin provides 4 packaging types. The first one allows you to pack items individually, where all items will be packed individually. The second option is weight-based packing, where you can define how items will be packed based on their weight and maximum package weight. The next option is box packing, where you can add custom box sizes and define their dimension. The last option is single package per order, which allows you to pack all items in one single package. Choose which one you are going to use. The plugin also provides an option to change the font language from the default language, English. The process to change the font language to Big 5 font for supporting Chinese characters is described in the Product Setting Up documentation. Next setting helps to add shipment tracking number on your shipping document. If you're using a third-party extension for shipment tracking, enter the respective tracking number meta value here. Meta value is nothing but a specific variable that you can copy from the respective extension settings page. By default, state code is displayed in all addresses of shipping documents. Enable the Display State Name option to display state name instead of state code. Once you configure all the settings, click Save Changes. Now let's move on to invoice settings. The first step is to enable the invoice. If this option is disabled, you cannot generate invoices, so remember to enable. Our plugin provides 3 predefined templates for invoice. You can click Activate to use a particular template, or click Customize to personalize it. Now, let's see the Custom Templates section. Every template customized from the standard templates are displayed here. You can click Activate to use a specific custom template, or click Customize to personalize it further. Next setting is to select the order status for which invoice has to be generated. Select your options. The next field helps you use order number as invoice number. If you wish to generate custom invoice numbers, leave this field unchecked. When creating a custom invoice number, there are more options where you can set padding number, a prefix, or a suffix, and can even reset the invoice starting numbers. You can also add payment and coupon information in the invoice. Next setting allows you to show Print Invoice option to your customers. With this, your customers can choose to print invoice on their own. You can choose to include or exclude tax information from invoice. An additional setting here is to set custom logo for invoices. Moving to advanced options. These settings add more functionality to configure invoice options. You can add additional fields on the checkout page. Select the available fields or add your own custom field by providing a field name. This can be helpful in getting more information from the customers that will be printed on the invoice. Apart from the checkout page, you can add additional fields on your invoice too. Select the available fields or add existing order field by providing the field name and the respective meta key. Similarly, you can add product fields in the product table of your invoice. For this, enter your custom field name and the respective product meta key. You can also set custom footer text for the invoice. This text will override the default footer text defined in the general settings. Finally, once all the settings are configured, click Save Changes. Moving to packing slip settings. To generate packing slips, enable the packing slip option if it is not enabled by default. Similar to Invoice, there are 3 standard templates for packing slip too. You can select or customize the templates as you like. The customized templates will appear in the Custom Templates section. Our plugin also provides options to add product image and price information on the packing slip. Select what needs to be added. You can also add additional fields on the packing slip. Select from the list of available values or add a custom order field by providing custom field name and the respective meta key. Similarly, you can add product fields in the product table by clicking Add Product Meta and providing product field information. Similar to Invoice, you can set custom footer text for packing slip too. This text will override the default footer text defined in the general settings. Save the changes once all settings are configured. We now move on to the Shipping Label Settings tab. The first setting is to enable or disable the shipping label. Next setting is to set the size of the shipping label. There are 2 options here. The first one is the full page option, which allows you to print the label spread over the entire page. This size depends on your browser printing option. The second option is 4x6, which prints the label at a size of 4x6 inches. If these 2 options don't match your requirement, you can set custom label size in terms of pixels. You also have the option to add email address and contact number on the shipping label. Finally, save changes. Now, let's see delivery note settings. The first setting is to enable or disable delivery note option. Like Invoice and Packing Slip, our plugin provides 3 standard templates for delivery notes, from which you can create your own custom templates. You can also add additional fields in delivery notes and product data fields in the product table of the delivery notes. You can also set custom footers for delivery notes, which will override the default footer text set in the general settings. Lastly, save the changes. Next tab is for Dispatch Label. You can enable or disable the dispatch label and choose additional fields to be included in the label. You can also configure the email settings. These settings help you send a soft copy of the invoice, packing slip, and delivery note along with the order status emails. You can select your preferred order status for which emails has to be generated. These order statuses are based on the order status selected in the invoice settings. You also have the option to send the respective shipping document as a separate email. Choose your preference and save the settings. You have now finally configured all the settings for the shipping documents. To know more about the plugin, refer to the product page. But that's not it. In another tutorial, we have explained how to customize templates for invoice, packing slip, and delivery note. You can also check the documentation for the same here. And for any queries, feel free to contact our support team. We'll be happy to help you out.